Hello, Anna. Welcome to the final session.
Hello, teacher. Good afternoon.
Hear me okay?
Yeah, everything okay?
How's that?
Hear me better now? Yeah. Okay. So, this is our sixth and final session, I think. Is it the sixth?
This is the sixth one.
Yeah. Now, based on your preferences expressed last time, we're going to do some activities from the Cambridge website on reading and writing, because those were the ones you seem to think you'd benefit from gaining a bit more sort of insight into sorts of activities that are done. Recommended. Let's just wait a little longer. How have you been getting on with the tasks on the Neo platform? You're
Personally,
doing most of.
I'm sorry, I came here because I missed a couple of ones in previous sessions. So I came here to
Okay,
update
good.
myself on a couple of sessions that I was missing in order for me to get my certificate.
Okay, good. So I think they give you some time to finish off doing the tasks. All right, so all the activities you'll see today are from the Cambridge Teaching Resources. There you go. So we'll do diagram label completion activity and short answer questions. And then review of part one, describing data. It's a general training task. And we'll finish with a end of course questionnaire and discussion. All right, sound okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome, Sheila. Good to have you again. And welcome, Nicole.
Hi, good afternoon.
So as you can see on our menu, we're going to be doing some activities from the Cambridge English website on reading and writing, because those are the ones that you asked for last time we did the questionnaire. That'll probably take up most of the final session. At the end, we'll have a little questionnaire and discussion. So, how about the rest of you? Have you been able to do most of most of the tasks on the Neo platform?
Yes, I almost am close to finish.
Good. There's quite a lot, isn't there? Yeah. So I guess they'll give you some time to finish off. All right, so let's get started, shall we? Now, this is a task type 10. Put it up on the board. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, look, we can do this open class. What does this diagram show? Welcome, Irradiant Minds. That's a cool name. What features can you explain from the information given? Copat. Any idea what dung is? Dung. Is it a noun or a verb? Dung. It's a noun, right? It's a type of popo, right? Done by animals. And a dung beetle. Any idea what that is? Do you have dung beetles where you live? In the fields?
Are those the insects that have like the poop of the animal, or what? The beetles?
That's right. They're the big black beetles, and they
Yeah,
sort of collect the poo, right?
yeah,
The
those
poo.
who make like
Yeah, and then
balls
they
of poop and
balls
keep
of poo, yeah, and then they take them down to the burrows and they lay their eggs in them or something, yeah. Kind of
Yeah.
disgusting, but it's ecologically it's healthy, no?
They help. Yeah.
Yes. So
I
so beetle is escarabajo, right?
yes.
Yeah. Not the English pop musicians of the 60s, no, but the insects, yeah. So what does it can you now I've sort of pre-taught that vocabulary. Can you answer those questions? What does it show? What features can you explain from the information given? We'll do this open class while people are still arriving.
Could it be perhaps the toenails of the beetles, or the ones that are underneath?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah, it's tunnels made by the different species of dung beetles, right? It's not just one type of dung beetle, right? It's not just the African ones, you know, which we've all seen on those documentaries series, yeah. No, but they're from different countries. How many different countries or different geographical areas are there?
There are 6.
They are indeed 6. Who knew there were so many different types of dung
Yeah.
beetle? Huh? Who knew? All right, now look at the instructions and the answer spaces 6, 7, and 8. What kind of information is required for the answers?
Nouns.
You reckon nouns? Hmm.
Mm,
Well, yes. You're right. It is nouns. Specifically, the type of species, right? The name of the type
Yeah.
of species.
Could
Right.
be instead of noun, well, adjectives or adjectives and nouns.
Well, it's just nouns. Yeah, it's the type of dung beetle, right? Now, what are the key words in the diagram? What would they be?
Mm. Depth and below surface. could be.
Depth below surface. Yeah. And what does CMS mean? Does it mean inches? Does it mean meters?
Centimeters, no?
Centimeters, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So depth below surface, centimeters, and also tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'd like you to, I'm going to put you into pairs, trios. And I'd like you to discuss with your partner what order would you do the following with the reading text. Okay. And why? So think about, remember in the first couple of sessions, we talked about reading for details, scanning and skimming. Yeah. So I'd like you to talk with your assigned partner in breakout rooms for about, 4 minutes should be enough. What order would you do the following with the reading text? Do you need to have the reading text for this? No, I'm not going to give you the reading text yet. Withhold it a bit longer. So I'll put you in breakout rooms. And welcome, people have just arrived to our final session. Let me just share with you the menu for the day. I'll just put it into the chat. So we're going to be doing a review of some reading tasks, and we're going to do some a review of just the describing data task for the writing, because it's a bit time consuming, that one. So 2, 3. So I'm going to put you into groups of 3 or 4. You're going to discuss the following question. I'm going to put the material in the chat as well. Oh, sorry. Sent it and put it into WhatsApp by mistake. There we go. Here we go. There you go. So there's the menu for today. And our task right now is to talk with your partner or trio. What order would you do the following with the reading text, and why? All right. Please go to the breakout room. Jessica, please join the breakout room if you can.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Welcome back. So, Paulina, could you just, you seem to have a good explanation. Could you just share with the whole group?
Okay. We agreed that the way to read the text would be first skimming to have the general idea of the text. Then we would do the scanning to have the main words identified. And at the end, we would do the detailed reading to search for the specific information on detail.
Yeah. That would be my intuition as well, is do the skimming first, because that to me means like get a general idea. But you might be surprised. It says suggested procedure is to scan the text for the key words that you've identified in the diagram. Then skim the part of the text around the keywords to see if it relates to the missing information. So, for example, with the sample text, tunnel appears in the first paragraph, like it's considered a key word, right? But is not related, appears in the first paragraph once, but it's not related to the missing information. Tunnel appears several times in paragraph 2. And this is the relevant section for the missing information. Detail reading should only happen when students are sure that they've found the relevant section of the text. So you were definitely right about detail coming last, weren't you? Yeah. So, another thing to remember for task 10, according to the Cambridge advice, is that the words only come from one part of the text, but they do not necessarily occur in the order of the passage. Emphasize, well, you should pay attention, the student should pay attention to expressions relating to location and position, as these are likely to be the ones relating to the diagram, along with the key words. All right, so I'm now going to give you, after that, sorry if you were frustrated by the answer, I will give you the task with the questions, and I'll give you, how long? No, there's only 4. How many questions are there? I reckon 3 or 4 minutes should be enough, because there's only 3 questions to do. Here we are. Task 10. There we go. So once you've received it, try and do the task. There's the reading. Remember, the answers should be found in which paragraph? I think it's mostly. Didn't it say mostly in paragraph 2? Yeah, it says this is the relevant section for missing information, paragraph 2. Okay, so give you a few minutes to do it. All right, so you've got about 1 minute left. When you're done, go ahead and put your answers in the chat. 6, 7, and 8. What are the answers? Okay, time's up, guys. Please put your answers into the chat. Good job, Paulina. Thank you. Anyone else like to have a go sending their answers? Which one is South African, Irene?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to write it down. South Africa would be the first one, 6.
6.
Seven.
Yes, that's
7
right.
French and 8 Spanish.
That's right. So who knew that the French dung beetles dig the deepest tunnels?
Can you imagine? This
Can
is
you
so
imagine?
interesting.
It is, isn't it? It's good, so good to know. Like the
Yeah.
things you learn when you're teaching IELTS, right?
Yeah.
It means you'll be able to win trivia quizzes, won't you?
Yeah. I worked with some of them about chocolate. I gave them a reading about chocolate. It was so interesting one time. The amount of chocolate countries produce and the money they make, chocolate companies.
Yeah. Okay, well, yes, Irene and Paulina are both correct. 6 is South African, 7 is French, and 8 is Spanish. So here's this this activity for you. You can take it and use it for yourself. It does suggest at the end, if this was like a regular class, that there's an extension activity. You take away the reading text, right, from them at the end, and then you say, students, for homework, write a summary of the diagram in your own words to demonstrate you've understood it. And this is a useful practice for academic writing task 1, 2, isn't it? Yeah, if you get them to write a description of this diagram, that's good practice for academic writing task. Yeah, which we'll be looking at later. Okay, so close this one and we'll move on to task 11. Give me a second to get the instructions ready. Okay. Now you're going to practice short answer questions, and they may appear anywhere on the IELTS academic reading paper. So with these questions, you need to read the instructions carefully, especially the number of words that you're asked to write. Now, the procedure for answering this type of question is to identify the key words in the question and then scan the text for the corresponding section. As the answers will be usually located in text order, the students can move through the passage without too much repetition. They then skim the corresponding section to find the correct answer. Occasionally, the answers will not all be in text order, so students should be encouraged to skim read around the relevant section of the text if they don't find the answer quickly. And keep the other questions in mind at all times. All right, so I've got a worksheet for you. Just get this ready. Oh, yes. Okay. Let me send this to you. Please click on the text. I've put in the link there. And this is what you'll see. So, going to
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm moving from the room where am I because I'm having a lot of connection problems. So I hope it can get better.
let's do the first one together, shall we? So, the question is, what are the key words in the questions below? Underline them and compare with a partner. Okay, so identifying the keywords is the thing here in number 1. So read through the 3 questions individually. Okay. First of all. Now I'll put you in pairs, shall I? And you can do this together. So let's have Paulina and Carla. Cool. Anna. And Irene and Sheila, you can work together. Just to make this a bit more interactive, yeah? So you can actually, when I give you this slide, you can actually use like a highlighter tool. Which is the word we can use? Okay. To actually highlight the keywords, all right? Using this tool, you see the one at the top here where it says highlight color. Yeah, highlight the keywords in the sentences. Yeah. I'll give you the link. Find your slide. So it's Umberto, Paulina, and Carla, you 6, Nicole and Anna 7, Irene and Sheila 8. Okay, here's the link. There you go. Find your slide. See if you can highlight those keywords. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to do it. I'm not even going to send you to breakout rooms. Yeah, good. So I can see that Umberto, Paulina, and Carla have highlighted. Yeah, I think you need to highlight health and mental, physical, and social. Yeah. Yeah, number 2, areas, definitely, but also how about 3? Isn't that important? And also health. Yeah, good, Nicole and Anna. And how about socio-ecological? Because there may be more than one view of health, right? Could be a different view of health. Finally, decade, Nicole and Anna's. Yes, that's right. Lifestyle risks. Yeah, it's risks, but also lifestyle risk. Yeah, because there could be other types of risks. Notice the modifier there. And poor health. Yeah, good. Now, let's go back to the worksheet that I sent you. It says scan the accompanying text as quickly as possible to find your keywords for each question. Write down the corresponding paragraph number next to each question. Yeah. So I'd like you to keep using this slide, and then actually write the paragraph numbers next to the sentences. So if you think the relevant paragraph for question 1 is paragraph A, then you write paragraph A. Okay. Just that, okay. Don't actually write down the answer yet. So just locate the paragraphs. Is that clear? Any questions?
No questions. Clear.
Okay, I'll give you the text. Yeah, because what we're doing is trying to develop these skills of skimming and scanning, right? So here's the reading text. Send it to you in chat. It looks like this. Okay. Changing our understanding of health is called. Okay. It says as quickly as possible, so I'll just give you 2 minutes. Let's check your answers. Which paragraphs were they? And you think the first paragraph was C, Nicole and Anna? You are right. That's where it's located. Well done, Irene and Sheila. Yeah, we're all correct. What about the 3 broad areas relating to people's health, according to socio-ecological? Yeah. Nicole and Anna say it's E. That's right. Yeah, and paragraph D, yeah, is the lifestyle risks. Well done, Nicole and Anna. Okay. You can do 3 and 4 now together. Those 2 tasks consecutively. It says reread the first question. In which year did this World Health Organization define health in terms of mental, physical, and well-being? So reread the first question, skim only the corresponding paragraph for it, and write down your answers. Be sure to answer in no more than 3 words. And you can do the rest of them, the questions. Okay, there are just 3 questions in all, total. So we'll do this on a Google form. Okay. Here's the Google form coming into the chat. Just to show you how, if you're teaching IELTS on preparation online, this is a sort of task you can design for them, right? Easy enough to do. Just take a screenshot of the text and place it into the Google form. Yeah. Can you just confirm that you have it? Okay, I'll give you about 4 minutes to write the answers. No more than 3 words. Okay. All right. Okay. You may have problems submitting the answers. So use this link here, yeah? Write your answers, but don't submit it yet because I want you to compare answers with your partner before you submit them. And I'd like you to tell your partner where you found your answers. Okay, go ahead and compare answers in breakout rooms. Carla, please join a breakout room. Or let me send you to one, okay? There we go. Okay, so please go ahead and submit your answer in the gaps there. Press the submit button. Let's see how well you did. Five responses so far. Good. Okay, yes, 1946. Very good. 3 out of 5. Got the answer right there. Good job. And oh well, yes, actually, yeah. You all said the only person that kind of got it wrong just identified the paragraph well rather than saying the word. Yes. So at this stage, yeah, we're actually focusing. Yeah, the identifying paragraphs was part of the reading strategy, wasn't it? Right. But this is where we actually do the task. So yeah, the three areas, just about everyone identified that it was social, economic, environmental, doesn't matter which is the order, that would get them the points. Yeah, and the answer is the 70s. Okay, who said the 1980? Why? Why did you say 1980? Yeah, because if you look in paragraph E, it says there's been a growing swing away from seeing lifestyle risks as the root cause of poor health. 1970s was the time, right, when lifestyle risks were seen as the major contributors. Yeah. But then it says, well, that's okay for kind of wealthy people. Yeah. But what about social and environmental conditions affecting poor people, right? Like lifestyle, changing your lifestyle. I mean, how is that going to improve your health? Yeah. If you live in a like a difficult a perilous social situation. Yeah. So since the 80s, it's changed. Yeah. Good job. So with that activity, we've dealt with short answer questions. We've practiced a technique for answering them that's included scanning, skimming, and selecting the appropriate words from the text for the answer. Okay with that? Can we move on to a writing task? And the writing task I've selected is one that teachers often find the most tricky to practice, really. And it's it's describing graphs. Okay. So the topic is everyone's favorite. It's television. Okay, I'd like you to, this is the final class ever. Yeah, sorry. I'd like you to discuss these questions in pairs for literally 3 minutes. So, what time of day do you usually watch TV, and what do you watch? Yeah, don't know about you, but I've been watching a couple of Netflix series recently, including You. What type of day do you usually listen to the radio, and what do you listen to? For me, I often listen to Radio 2 on the internet, British BBC Radio 2, because they've got a good variety of music, right, from different eras, like sounds of the 70s, sounds of the 80s, and so on, right? Sounds of the 90s, even, when I'm feeling modern. So, do you watch TV or listen to the radio more? It's about even for me. Do you think most people have similar TV and radio habits to you? Okay, so I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. Those are the questions, so you won't lose the questions when you go into the breakout rooms. Okay, quick discussion. Starting now. All right. Any interesting observations?
It is amazing how we all tend to do more or less the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for example,
basically
for
that
me-
answers the last question and we couldn't do. Yeah, I think we-
Yay,
So the
exactly.
Exactly. 3 and
Same.
4 are mainly related.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tend to watch TV, all of the three of us, between the hours at night between 7 and 9 p.m. when we get back home to do the chores, and most of us we will be watching comedies or series or streaming on Netflix and platforms. For what time of the day you usually listen to radio? We agree that we don't usually listen to the radio. Sometimes when you have like 10 or 20 minutes on a car, and instead of connecting your Spotify, which is what we do, you can hear what is on the radio, but not for very long time.
Mhm.
Most of the time we watch TV more than listening to the radio. But when we're doing the chores at home, we all listen to music.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
time, isn't it, when you're listening to the
Yeah.
radio? Yeah.
That
and-
releases the pain.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, it was always, you could listen to AM radio or you could listen to FM radio. That were the only choices. But now, I mean, if you've got one of those smart speakers like Alexa, you can say,
Yes.
Alexa, play BBC Radio 2.
Playlist.
Yeah, then you can listen to a radio station from a different part of the
Country.
world and country and then so
Yeah.
that increases the opportunities for exposure for students, doesn't it? So,
Yeah. And well, we think that most of the people have, or unless we do have the similar TV habits that, as we were talking about, it is amazing how being so far away and we do almost the same things.
All right, now I'm going to show you a graph that shows how radio and TV audiences change throughout the day in the UK, right, in Reino Unido, right? It's a bit of an old graph, but I think it still has some relevance today. Um, is it similar to your habits? Are your habits similar to these? Is this the time when you're watching television or listening to the radio?
In my case, it is similar.
Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit.
Why?
Because I usually watch TV at night and not in the morning. Well, maybe a little bit in the morning, but not that much. Sometimes maybe only in the weekend. But usually if I'm going to watch TV, it's going to be at night. And I can see this graph around, 8, perhaps that's like the highest point. I don't know, it's 8 or 9, the highest point. So that's why I believe that in my case, it is similar.
No.
In my
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I was about to say that, like, in my case, I would move like the television a little bit more to the right, but it is mainly the same. Like, more in the morning, the music, not the radio, but the TV is more between 10 and 9 and 10.
Now, you're going to read 3 summaries of the graph. And you have to decide which one is the best, right? So let me just get this one ready. Yes. Okay, so here are the three summaries. I'll try and boost it up, okay? You've got to decide which is the best summary. Is it A, is it B, or is it C? You can write your answer in the chat when you're ready. Ah, Nicole, Umberto, and Sheila all say C. Why?
Believe that letter A mentions something that, but we cannot see that actually on the graph. So that's why I didn't say that letter A would be perhaps the answer. Now, letter B does mention only information. I mean, the numbers are there in the graph, but it's just that. And I don't know, it sounds better to me, letter C, because there is like a little bit of like an interpretation. And I believe that is
Yes.
supported with the graph.
Okay, actually, interpretation is not it's not the recommended way to write in this. You're not supposed to interpret. So that's probably one reason that A is not recommended. Because it interprets the data instead of reporting. The idea is you're supposed to report. B is also not correct because it's to do with, it's too much about specifics and not trends. And so the option, the correct answer is C. Okay, here are the answers. It summarizes the three main points. TV is more popular overall. Radio is more popular in the morning and TV in the evening. And has a good range of academic language. Yeah. Avoids informal language like telly. Good.
And it also uses connectors
Yeah.
in a very good way.
Yeah. No. No. Look, let's look back at this option C again. Okay. Which words or phrases in option C could be used in any summary? Any summary.
To sum up,
Yeah. Those could be used in any summary, right? Any others? Overall, yes, says Nicole. Good job. Thank you. Overall.
whereas,
Whereas, yeah. Making a comparison. And
Significantly could be, but
yes, significantly. Yeah. Yeah, no, significant is often used in academic language. Yeah, because I think it's often comes from statistics. If you ever studied statistics, yeah, it's like a favorite phrase of statisticians, isn't it? And social scientists, yeah, they like to use it, don't they? Good. Now, are there any other words or phrases in the other summaries that could replace these underlined words or phrases?
in conclusion,
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
I think in letter B that would be all, because the
Yeah.
rest is like too general.
Yeah, what about in conclusion? Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I think I said
That
it.
was the first one she said.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it? Okay. All right, cool.
And in paragraph A would be in summary.
Yeah. All right, now here's a little task for you. You can see the worksheet in the chat. So I'd like you to look in this box here at the bottom, and you can see words like however, on the other hand, slightly, in general, in contrast, generally speaking, and substantially. Now, there are three boxes, box 1, box 2, box 3. You see the words that are underlined? And you can see box 1 has been done as an example. So you've got in conclusion and summary. Those are taken from this cajita down here. All right. What other words could we put in box 2?
In contrast, on the other hand,
Yeah, they have to, yeah.
However, maybe.
however.
However, yes. On the other hand, yeah. Now, we'd have to change, yeah. We'd have to be careful, wouldn't we, with the punctuation. Radio is more popular in the morning. Now the ones that are given, whereas, but, and while, have commas. But if we wanted to use, however, we'd have to use, I think it's suggesting we would have to use a full stop. Huh?
As well as on the other hand, no, and in contrast.
Yeah, on the other hand is also so the radio is more popular in the morning, full stop, and then new sentence, however, right? And on the other hand, yeah, then there's a new sentence as well. I guess in contrast would be okay. And Yeah. Also for box 2. What about box 3? Significantly, what's a possible substitution for significantly? Yeah, substantially.
In general, could be the television has in general a larger number, could be.
Generally speaking, yeah, I suppose.
I will go for substantially.
So do I.
Yeah.
That's
Closer in
substantially too.
closer in meaning really is substantially.
Substantially.
Yeah. Or if you wanted to have an antonym, well, the opposite of significantly would be slightly.
Slightly, but that
Yeah.
would be opposite.
That would
Yeah,
be
that would be the opposite, yeah. An antonym. So this is, it's useful when you're teaching this Lexis for academic writing describing data. Is like we need to sort of upgrade or give them a wider range of vocabulary, right? So elicit from them and teach them different phrases. Some of them are going to be synonyms and some of them are going to be antonyms, aren't they? Yeah. You'll notice that the writer has also avoided repeating words in his summary. Radio and television audiences. And ways you can do that is by using other words like viewers and listeners, so on. Aye. I'd like you to decide if these sentences in the next worksheet I'm going to give you, you'll get the worksheet in a minute in PDF form. Have a look at these sentences. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are they about the TV or the radio? To do this, you'll need to look at the graph again. Decide whether they're about the TV or the radio. Let me just take a screenshot of this. Put it into the chat. Because you need to be able to read the sentences and look at the graph at the same time and decide if they're about the TV or the radio. Put the worksheet 2 into the chat as well so you can have a look at it. Oops, sorry. I sent that too early. I'll take it back. There we go. So what do you think first sentence. Is that TV or is it the radio? You've got to look at the graph to figure it out. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to guess because we don't have that much time. What do you think? Radio or TV? Between blah blah, there is a sharp rise to a peak of. Anybody? It's radio. Okay. What about the next one? It stays at about 5. It stays at about 8% until just before that, when it shoots up rapidly to its peak of. TV. Thank you, Nicole. This is helping us decide which line is which, right? And what sentences describe which medium. It remains roughly the same level until I'm not asking you for the number, I'm just asking you whether it's radio or TV. Yeah, it's that's TV. The audience figures rise steadily from then falls briefly before jumping to okay, that one's TV as well. And then this figure experiences a gradual decline over the rest of the day, although there is a slight increase at about, yeah, that one's radio. Good job. Okay, so it's radio, it's TV, it's TV, it's TV, and it's radio. Now, I'm going to share this link with you, okay? And you can see your names at the top. So, Anna, Umberto, Jessica, and Carla, you're working on slide 6. Paulina, Sheila, Irene, and Nicole, you're working on slide 7. Huh? No. You have to try and write the figures in the sentences, okay? You're going to work together. You're all going to contribute to the same slide. I'm not going to put you into breakout rooms directly, all right? You're just going to work on it by looking at the graph. You've got to look at the graph to get to write in the figures. Hmm? Okay, so here's the link. With this, you'll be able to actually write on the graph. Let's check it's the right one. Link. There you go. Please click join your worksheet. Worksheet number 2. Give you 1 more minute. We're running out of time a bit. Just try and write as many numbers as you can. Now, this is kind of important because, well, on the academic paper, this is paper 1 academic paper. Students will just they have to use numbers, right? Very often, if it's a graph. So they have to be prepared for this. Okay. So here are the answers. Just check them. So between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., there is a sharp rise of from approximately 7% to a peak of just under 30%. It stays at about 15% until just before 4 p.m. when it shoots up rapidly to its peak of 45%. It remains roughly the same until 10 p.m. when it sees a rapid decrease in numbers until it reaches the lowest point of 2% at 2 a.m. The audience figure rises steadily from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., then falls briefly at 10 before jumping to 15% at 2 p.m. This figure experiences a gradual decline to 2% over the rest of the day, although there is a slight increase at around 4 p.m. and again at 10 p.m. Now, look at this expression, sharp rise. What parts of speech are sharp and rise?
It's an adjective and a noun.
Yes, adjective and noun, isn't it? Yeah, adjective and noun. It's it's a noun. Rise, yeah. Students might be more familiar with the verb, right? So it's important to point out that it's adjective and noun. Now, what about rises? Is that a verb or a noun? It's a verb, isn't it?
This is
Yeah.
a verb.
Yeah. And then steadily.
Adverb.
Oh my God.
Adverb, yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to send you this worksheet. You might not be able to actually write on this worksheet. Yeah. But the idea is that you complete this box. Yeah. Or, if you're teaching this online, you could adapt this or maybe have it on a Google Doc so that they complete the table with other adjectives and other nouns and also other verbs and other adverbs, right? So let's do this orally together. Okay, so experiences, what would that be? Have a look at that sentence, experiences. What's the adjective? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it would be gradual is the adjective and noun is the noun would be decline, right? Yeah. Yeah. And also, how about rapid decrease? Yeah. So always get them to look at actual in the actual sentences, right? They've already read. Yeah. So let's highlight the yellow ones, gradual. Yeah. Slight increase. That's also adjective noun, isn't it? Yeah. No. On to the verb and adjectives. Which are the verbs? Sorry, verb and adverbs. Shoots up, shoots up rapidly. That's a verb, isn't it? And the adverb, rapidly. Falls. Falls briefly. Is there a roughly? Ah, remains at roughly the same level. Yeah. That's certain. Roughly is an adverb, isn't it? Yeah, so let's put that one there. And the verb would be remains. All right. That makes sense. So this is how you can use your model text to draw attention to this really useful lexis for describing graphs and changes, right? Do we have time to do a bit of actual writing? Now, there are two possible structures for answering the question. All right. So I'm going to have Nicole, Paulina, Sheila, Irene, and that's it. Work on this structure. All right. I want you to write your answer according to this structure. So there needs to be an introduction. Radio is the first topic of the first paragraph. TV is the topic of the third paragraph and the summary. All right. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do it. See how much you can write in 10 minutes, right? So for these people, it's got to be so it's Nicole. Only Nicole, Paulina, Sheila. Gonna write this one. She's still here. She gone? She's still here. Great. Okay, I'll send you the link privately. So you have to do your writing on this Google Doc, okay? Lena. Nicole. Sheila. And Irene. You can start writing immediately. You've only got like 10 minutes max. Okay, we lost Irene. It doesn't matter. And worksheet B is going to be Anna. Okay, Anna, Umberto, Jessica, Carla, not Carl. That's it. So you're going to do introduction, morning. Yeah, the morning trend, radio then TV. The afternoon trend, radio and TV, and then the evening, and then a summary. So you'll see that half the class is writing in a different way, a different structure to the other half. There's a contrast. Yeah. Write as much as you can. Speed write in 10 minutes. Irene, we're all silent. Because we're all busy writing.
I'm sorry, I see the mouse is moving and I don't know what's going on because my computer kicked me out for a minute and then I didn't know what they were doing.
Okay, so you are, let me send it to you. Maybe you were out of when I set the task, that's why. Okay, so there you go. One set of students is writing one way, and one set of students is writing another, like different structures, because there are two possible structures to this particular writing. All right, so you've been assigned the first. Introduction, radio, TV, and summary. The purpose of this is just to get students to be aware that there may be more than one way or more than one structure for the writing. Yeah? That's really just what it is. And also to give you a bit of practice. Sometimes the best way of teaching something is actually trying to do it yourself, isn't it? Have you noticed that? I've noticed that as a teacher. If you can't do it yourself, well, maybe there's a problem. It may be not be you, it might be just the materials, right? All right, well, time's just about up. Just going to put you into pairs with a student. You know, you're not really students, but pretend student who did the other um, structure. Okay, so Anna's working with Nicole. Umberto is with Paulina. Jessica is with Carla and Sheila. Okay, so just have a look at what the other person's written and see if you notice any differences in the way it's, has it had an effect on the way the information is organized? Is it easy to read? All right, do you prefer one to the other? Literally, you got 3 minutes. All right, so you can use this principles for any writing class. And use that when you're teaching IELTS, can't you? So there's usually a lead in, there's usually some preparation that involves having a model text. You look at maybe the structure of the text and then some of the language within it. In this case, it was things like adjectives, adverbs, yeah, and of course some of these discourse markers like inclusion, in conclusion, and summary. There's a little bit of practice with those, and you actually got to write, right? Obviously, it was, if there was more time, would have been better. The nice thing in a writing class is to try and get the students to read each other's at the end, isn't it? Yeah. And the contrasting structures makes the students kind of notice the different style of writing there. Great. Well, I hope you got something from tonight's session. Sorry it was a bit rushed, maybe a bit too ambitious, but just before you go, I was wondering if you could complete this end of course questionnaire, or if you prefer, you could just do it in your own time. But let's just get it up, show you what it looks like. Just a bit of feedback from you about what you think could have been, was okay, what could have been better. So a couple of questions here and it would be appreciated to get your input to improve future generations of the course. Which training session do you think is or will be the most useful to you as a teacher of IELTS exam preparation classes? Which training session did you think was, is, or will be the least useful? Any other suggestions? Yeah. You can, once you're done, just submit. And thank you very much. I mean, if you wish, you could save the link and fill it in. If you're rushed, you have to get away. I know I've gone over time by 5 minutes. So
Already
thank you.
answered.
I
Thank you, teacher.
have
Thank you
Thank
very
a
much.
question.
Yes.
I have a question. The material that we have been studying all these weeks in the platform that you send us, is that going to be available for some more time, or it's once we finish the training, it's going to be over?
Yes. No, they usually give it, let you access for a couple of
Okay.
months. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they'll
Because,
probably
yeah.
send a reminder just for you to finish the activities. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, in fact, I'm still gonna take another session next week because you remember I missed one, so I'm still taking another one.
Okay. Great. Well, here's the Cambridge material if you want to try and use it yourself. Sent it through the chat. Yeah. For the writing there. Thank you. Been great
Thank you.
working with you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you
Thanks
very
a lot
much
for
it
your
was a
help.
pleasure.
Okay, Descansen. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for
Same
you
to
too.
you.
Likewise.
Thank
Bye.
you
Have an
very much.
excellent, have an excellent
Bye.
day live in the
Bye.
terrain. Bye.
Bye.